Now the dangerous Nelson Cruz.
That one is hit hard to left. That ball's back, and there's your grand slam. Nelson Cruz connects that a triple. His fourth of the game, and suddenly it's a 2-point contest. And Karl Anthony Township, you said he needs to start exerting his will. Rob moving in, back to Johnson, he scores! First in the NHL for Luke Johnson.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Thank you, audience.
Oh,
they're back. The audience is back.
Yep, the audience is back. We're back. This is episode 5. The audience loves to let us know that we're doing a good job. Yep. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Too much.
You guys, it's too much. We need to get going here. Yep. This is FuzzJockRadio. Mm-hmm. I am one of your hosts, Fuzzy. We have another host. His name is C-Dubs out in L.A.
Hey, C-Dubs.
That's me. I'm C-Dubs.
We have another host in Minnesota, and his name is
James.
And then we couldn't come up with a fourth host this week.
But it's season 4.
So James finally looked at the emails, which we do every day.
You guys write
FuzzJockRadio
the most
at
beautiful
gmail.com.
emails.
And he saw that this agent, this quote unquote agent, sent him an email saying that they would like to have this guy. I'm not really sure who he is.
This guy
on as a host. They're like, oh, he listens to the show. He has things to promote and talk about, I guess. Too much ado. Mr. Eric Ital.
That's Ital, Eric Ital. Thank you very much, and it's very nice to be here. Thank you.
Hey.
So Mr. Ital is here to be the fourth
Idle,
host.
please. It's Ital.
What?
I-D-L-E. I-D-L-E.
I-D-L-E. Ital.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Idle. Pronounced idle. It's an English word. Pronounced idle.
Well, this is going to be.
As in suicide.
James, this is going to be interesting.
Now I get that.
This guy's going to be. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be an interesting show. I don't know what you have going on, buddy, but we'll promote whatever you want to talk about. Like you have like some movie coming out or something.
No, I don't. No, not currently. No.
Do you have a show?
No, not on the air. No, not at all. Not right. Not for years actually.
Well, you're a funny guy, so you got some you're got some comedy special coming out, right?
No, I don't know. I don't have any comedy special coming out shortly now.
Okay,
so,
okay. Well, we'll work with this.
Do you have an album?
No, I haven't got an album. No.
Okay.
Hey, do you like sports?
Yeah. Do you like sports?
Oh, yes. I like sports. I watch poker on television.
It's close.
Sports not. Poker's not really a sport, but
Come on now.
It isn't.
We don't need to be gatekeepers.
I suppose
We're not gatekeepers of sports
we're
here.
not gatekeepers,
Yeah,
but yeah, we could talk a little bit of poker. Do you know a lot about sports?
About poker, or do I know generally sports in general? I like poker. And I like
American baseball or like soccer
baseball?
or football.
Yeah, I mean cricket's like America. It's English baseball, isn't it? Cricket, really.
Yeah.
I mean, in a way,
It's kind of
they hit the
close.
run.
C-Dubs kind of
Yeah.
talked to me a little bit about cricket a little bit one time. I watched a little bit of cricket. It was really great. So yeah,
If you're English, you must support a football team.
No, actually, I don't support a football team because I learned early on that supporting a football team is like dating a hooker. They're always going to let you down.
Oh.
And so I don't do that anymore, really.
Whoa.
So even the hooker had to go.
Oh
Well,
man.
let's move on, guys. So, Mr. Eric, I'm gonna just call you Mr. Eric if that's okay, since you're telling me I don't know how to pronounce your name, but I know that I know how to pronounce your name, Mr. Ital. But
No, that's Idle, but Eric is you're pronouncing very well indeed. I like the way you're doing.
Stick with
that.
what you're good at.
Okay,
there.
Mr. Eric.
Yeah, you
Mr.
got that
Eric.
down.
Mr. Eric, it could be Sir Eric, but it hasn't happened yet, so one waits for the Queen. And
Yeah,
all
we'll
that.
see
But,
about that, right?
Keep your dreams alive.
So we like to start the show off with how our week was, what we got going on.
Yeah.
And James, what's going on? How you doing, bud?
It's all right. It's all right. I was constructing some cardboard toys with my son earlier.
Nice.
It's part of a Nintendo accessory where you build these accessories out of cardboard for the video games. And we're building this bird. And my dad, his grandpa, comes downstairs and it's like, whoa, cool. He's excited. He's like, I'm building this. This is fun with my dad. He's like, hey, Grandpa, we're building a bird. And he's like, what kind of bird is it? And he's like, a card bird. And I'm like, hell yeah, son.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
What does this bird do?
you play a video game with it. So you flap its wings and it makes the
that's
bird
really
on the
cool.
game fly.
Yeah. This is the Nintendo Switch thing?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really neat. I like that.
They are fun.
I like that.
And it's exciting to have him finally at the age to like have some attention to some detail without like destruction and doing crafts with a child. But there's a lot of instruction for these Nintendo cardboard games. So we only got like halfway through. So
Yeah, well, you got halfway through.
yeah,
You did something.
was
That's
fun.
awesome.
You have a half a bird?
half a bird.
Half a bird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
it called?
Did you name it?
Not yet. Not yet.
When you finish it, do you shoot it? Is that the game?
I hope not.
Oh, okay.
Nah.
It's like a Flappy Bird type of thing.
Yeah,
Game
Flappy
so
Bird.
fun. It's more like a modeling game.
Do you
Well,
feed it?
Here's the thing. I'm not gonna shoot it, but kids have a mind of their own. you might pick up a play gun and take the bird out, and then we gotta do cardboard surgery.
Oh, that'll be fun. C-Dubs, how was your week? What's going on? How you doing, bud?
Very good. I'm doing good. I just got back to work today for the first day. So that was fantastic. Lots to do. I'm happy to be back in baseball. And I've just been prepping for this show and getting ready for work.
That's very
So,
cool.
I don't have a great bird story. Had I known, I would have made a cardboard bird too, but I would have completed mine.
James was
Or at
keeping
least
it-
the other half.
he was keeping that
Or at
story
least
to
Yeah,
himself.
we could have combined our halves of the birds together and we would have had one full bird.
There you go. Mr. Eric,
Yes, sir.
how was, since you've never been on the show before, how's your life? How's your life been? What's going on? Tell me from the very beginning, from the very start to to where we're at right now. Go into great detail, please. What's up?
Well, I'm just trying to get back to England, but I've been locked down for 14 months, so I'm stuck in America. And
Yeah.
it's been quite interesting, really. I haven't got any friends here, but I mean, I read a lot of books, and I made a little model today. I made a half a bee, but I'm trying to finish the other one tomorrow.
Good.
No, it's been good. It's quite nice. It's been it's been interesting anyway.
This last 2 years or year and a half, 2 years. I don't even know anymore because has time like just melted together and just kind of expanded over this last year for you, like it has for me.
I think time, yes, it's very, very, it's varied a lot. I mean, it is space time. Einstein did say it was space time.
Yes.
So, it's distance, isn't it? And time is money. I found time is money, actually.
And money makes the world go around,
Yeah.
right?
And what's the time now? $20 past 8, right?
What is slashing?
Slashing is like that,
So this is a podcast about sports, and we have a team from Minnesota that's in the playoffs currently, and they actually currently are playing the Minnesota Wild.
I think it's going really well.
It has been going really well tonight, I hope, because this is the
Elimination.
elimination
It's an elimination
right?
game.
Is that what you call it?
But just for the Wild, right?
One out of
Just for the
just for the Wild. The Vegas can't get eliminated tonight. It is a 7-game series. Wouldn't that
And the
be
Wild,
something?
the Wild are down in a 7-game series.
1-3.
Correct.
Yep. Correct.
So they have to win to keep going.
They have to win tonight. And once we're done with the podcast, I would assume that the game's still going on. So make sure to jump right back over to the Wild game because I know that you stopped watching, so you can tune in tonight. But yeah, did you see that the Minnesota Wild's right wing Marcus Johansson suffered a broken arm from the last game?
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, to say that this has been a chippy series is an understatement. So I'm not surprised, but that's wild.
Wait,
Minnesota players are bold.
you guys are seriously like someone broke an arm playing hockey, and you're like, what? How could this happen?
No, more like, wow. I can't believe it did happen because our arms are pretty big bones.
Parisi got a stick to the face, and he's got a huge busted open lip that they just froze shut. And like he's been playing the last couple of games with that. So I mean, they've been going really hard in this series.
They're tough. Hockey players are tough.
You gotta be tough. It's intensely physical sport, high contact.
So they're so tonight they're without Marcus Johansson, and it sounded like the Wild coach decided to flip the script a bit because we have people that are getting hurt. Kirilov, that's his name, Kirilov?
No, Kaprizov.
Krill.
Yeah,
Krill the Thrill.
Kaprizov. I found out the reason why he hasn't been doing that well is that he in the first game a puck hit his shin, and he hasn't been able to play well since. And then they've been, he's been doing so well, so they've just been, overburdening him or whatever. But yeah, it's broken arms, chippy game. This game tonight is great. It should be going well. And then whoever wins this series, it looks like they're going to be playing against Colorado, because they handed it to St. Louis.
They sweeped
in
it.
4 games.
Look at that.
I hate Colorado. They are my the team I dislike the most.
Yeah.
Take that, Colorado.
What do you guys think? I don't even know. I don't know. Like I don't know a whole lot about hockey, so it's really tough for me to talk about while it's in playoff season.
Well, I did have a cousin who played for Chicago.
Oh yeah.
The Blackhawks. Yeah.
Ooh.
A second cousin. His name's Ben Smith.
Okay.
And he actually scored in one of these games, in these playoff games. He got Chicago into the playoffs, actually.
Oh, that's dope.
My cousin. He's now playing in Germany. That should teach him a lesson.
Yeah, take that. Shipped up to Germany for scoring a good goal.
Yeah.
Show him.
I think they flogged him off to some other team. Anyway,
That is way more interesting than what we're. Who is this guy again?
Ben Smith.
Smith,
Chicago Blackhawks.
I don't know.
Yeah, we should get him on.
No, you're right.
what?
Let's get him on.
Baseball is fun again in Minnesota.
So we're gonna jump to baseball where we know a little bit more. Right now, also the Twins are playing the Baltimore Orioles. We can't update you on the score since we're live, but it looks like that's going to be a good game as well. Finally, the Twins they have not been doing that well. We all know.
But they're going to win the World Series. Don't worry.
We still will, but we have to. I think we'll get it next year because I think what we're going for right now is the worst team in baseball history. Like, hear me out. Hear me out. We are already on that trend, and
You want to see a worst to first narrative, which the Twins already did in 1990 and then the 91 season.
well, let's beat our own record. No,
We'll do even worse this time.
I'm just saying, like, I'm not going to
We're
be
going to
mad.
go worster to firster.
I'm not going to be mad if they don't turn the season around, as long as they get the record for being the worst team in Major League Baseball history. I don't know, dude. And I even got some stats here, guys. Like,
Ooh, okay.
like
never
in
stats.
Oh, Mr. Numbers over here.
1916, the number one franchise was was the worst team in MLB history is the Philadelphia Athletics, and they won 36 games and lost 117. And then in 1935, the Boston Braves, they won 38 and lost 115.
Wow.
And then the number 3 was in 1962, the New York Mets, 40, 120. Okay? And then the next one was 1904, 38 and 113. And what I'm saying is that
Yeah, get to the point.
we can still win games and make the season fun and still be the worst team in MLB history. Because we haven't made it to 36 games yet.
That's so optimistic of you.
You know what I mean?
So what's that rate then? We'd win 1 game a week until the season's over, or less than?
Yeah, and that's not that bad. It's like
I can take a win every 6 games.
And hear me out. That game that they win that week, everybody's gonna be like, they might turn it around. Look at that. They won a game.
I like this. And then it gives us that hope for the rest of the season to keep us going, but also when it's over, we can look back and say, that was history.
That was history. Exactly. You're getting it.
I like this.
I don't know. I don't feel like you guys are watching the same Twins I'm watching.
What do you think
That's all.
of this type of approach?
To losing?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I think England's been famous for celebrating its losses. We don't celebrate victory. We celebrate Dunkirk, which is when we ran away from the Germans in World War II. So that's a very English thing to do. So to see who could be the worst is very British.
We're there. I mean, we're on that.
We do
trend.
that in our politics anyway, but you seem to have taken over with that more recently.
Yeah, it reminds me of a song about like having some sort of the perspective on like the more lighter aspects of existence. I think it was by the Beatles.
Yes. Here comes the sun.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yep. Yeah.
So if the game that they're playing tonight is against the Baltimore Orioles, who have the same record as us right now, which is the worst. And at least we have a reason. I didn't look into Baltimore's reasons why they're also the worst, but our reasons are like make sense. It's we've got a lot of injuries going on. However, it does look like Byron Buxton is progressing. It says that he's progressing well, and he'll push it to the bases later this week and could DH on a rehab by the end of the week before a game in the field, somebody tweeted.
I like
this
that.
Dan Hayes, I'm not really sure who he is, but he tweeted that.
Dan?
And he has a check mark.
He's got MLB in the name.
Yeah,
he's check mark. He's Twitter verified, so that's legit.
And we got Nelson Cruz on the injured list with a wrist. Going to be expected not to come back until the 25th. Jorge Polanco, the 25th. Max Kepler, the 25th, won't come back. Buxton, not until June 3rd. Solitaire, 24th. Wheat, 24th. Kenta just went on the IL. June. He won't be back until the June 2nd.
Oh man.
So yeah, we have a ton of Twins that are.
Even Pineda too.
Yeah, but you guys remember that this gives us the opportunity to see, these new players like Ref Snyder. He knocked one out of the park.
Yeah, you're right.
He's awesome.
Gives the new people chances to shine.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah,
and those people
Kirilloff was good.
Yeah, Kirilov's back up, and getting those players that want to prove themselves because they're rookies, they're prospects, and when they get that opportunity, man, they put their whole heart into it.
And it's a great time to have them come up when we're going for the worst team in history.
There's a
Because
lot. A lot of baseball season left, dude.
Look at it.
There's
Look
a
at it.
long
Also, look at
season.
it this way, bud. This way, they already know what the taste of loss is.
We're already Minnesota, though.
Yeah, they're losing. They're like, oh, so they don't know what. Then when they win, it's going to be even better. They already know what the depths are. Do you have something, Mr. Eric?
Oh no! Sorry, I had something in my eye.
Okay. Well, I had a little bit of time to Google up your name, and it does look like you do know a little bit about sports. I see that you were you were in the Olympics, and that it looks like something to do with pole vaulting. You want to talk about your pole vaulting experience in the Olympics? That's why your agent got a hold of us. I figured it out.
Oh, I mean, I was in the Olympics. I was at the Olympics in 2012 in London, and I sang. But I sang.
Oh,
it's
like the
Singing's an Olympic sport.
Wait.
like
no,
the national
singing's
anthem.
not an Olympic
Jameis.
sport, but I wasn't a pole vaulter.
Oh.
No, I didn't do anything. I wasn't an athlete.
So you sang.
Were you actually invited to the Olympics, or were you got tickets and like you're hanging out singing in the crowd?
I was invited to perform at the Olympics, and I got paid £1.
Oh, so you played
Which
the national anthem?
I took that actually. I gave my agent 10% of it.
Oh,
£1.
£1, yes. We had to chase them up. They didn't pay it. I had to chase them up.
Now, I don't know a lot about currencies that aren't the American currency, but I think that's low.
mm-hmm.
£1?
Yes.
It's not going to get you Beyonce, put it that way, but it did get you some. I mean, it had the Who. They had quite a lot of British rock and roll people.
My dad liked
They're
the
mainly
Who.
the poorer ones, the ones who hadn't any money left, so they turned up for the Olympics.
So like you sang like the national anthem.
No,
Not at the
no,
Olympics.
I did not sing "God Save the Queen." We don't. Well, we started to do that, but no, I sang "Always Look on the Bright Side of Life."
It's good to look at the bright side of life, isn't it? That's what you
yes,
gotta do.
that's the point of the song. It's a little song I wrote.
Well, that's more of like a saying you tell people when they're down. Like you just say, hey, look at the bright side of things. Like right?
Yeah.
It's just a saying.
At least you've got, you're polar. I mean, you're not bipolar, you're polar, right? So that's the bright side. Is the 50% is good news, isn't it?
It is. It usually is.
Yeah.
I like.
So
I like to think that.
Yeah, it's a good philosophy.
Is it? That's a good song. Do you still know how it goes?
Yeah, it's always look on the bright side of life. Everybody has to whistle, see, and it was 90,000 people there, and about 2 billion on television watching.
Okay. Sure.
I should have watched that Olympics. I'm going to watch this one, but I guess I missed that.
Oh no, I like the fact that they're having the 2020 Olympics next year. I think that's really good. I think they should do the 1948 Olympics the year after.
That's what I'm saying.
We could go and do the past Olympics, and then people wear costumes.
It's all time.
You could do Hitler. The Hitler Olympics would be really interesting.
That would be really interesting. I'm not really
more interesting.
Do you remember?
Se da cuenta y cambia. Pirlo afinando, ya cobra, pelota por arriba. ¡Gol!
Decision day just happened.
Oh,
what does that
Decision
mean?
Day.
What happens if you make the top 4? What happens if you're in the bottom? What is Champions League? What is FAA Cup? Who do you support? Like, what is all this? I don't know what this means.
All this and more if you tune in next week.
Decision day? What does that mean? Is that like they decide to play some soccer?
Yeah, who's the champion? Who was number one? But mainly it was about which of the other teams got into the top 4, because the top 4 play in the Champions League, which is a European league where they get to play teams like Real Madrid and Barcelona. So there's a fight between Chelsea and Liverpool and Spurs and to who could make it. And the last day they played all the games at the same time on Sunday, so nobody could fiddle it. And it was interesting because it kept swapping. around. So that was good. And I'd just like to say I've really enjoyed this season because it's been entirely without fans. And I think that's so much better. Sport is a lot better without fans. They're nasty, they're unpleasant, they're drunk, they're violent. They stopped a game at Manchester. They'll poured onto the bloody field.
Yeah, it gets crazy. It gets
much better without fans completely.
It gets crazy over there sometimes. Like the soccer games everywhere. Soccer games get absolutely crazy. I was thinking about why.
It's because the teams are closer together, so you can have away teams for fans. You can't do that here because they have to fly to Chicago, they fly to New York or LA. So you don't have people yelling back.
My goodness!
You only have to go a tube across London. You've got 20,000 people coming into your little stadium.
I've never thought of that. That's and that happened in Minnesota when they had the Super Bowl here. The Philadelphia Eagles fans came to Minnesota and just destroyed the place.
Yeah,
and we had
that's a different football, but
it's a different football, but it's the same type of thing.
It's the same kind of thing. You don't have opposing opponents to deal with, whereas in England you have them all the time. They're at the next pub.
And, it's a lot more obvious in Major League Baseball right now too. Like since we watched, since we had no fans last year because of the COVID stuff, it's more, it's a lot more prominent that there are fans in the stadium at Major League Baseball games because they're making these just outrageous sounds to try to make a batter miss a pitch. They'll just go.
Did you hear the Ric Flair guy? Yep, that's it.
And it's not even Ric Flair. It's not even Ric Flair. They're just making a different sound, or they're like I heard a dude just heckling one of the batters, and just telling him his mother's doing stuff, and it's just like, dudes, just horrible. Settle down. Let them play their game. I don't know. I think we should go to. I also agree that we should go back to fanless games. 100%.
It's a much better form of sport. I went to the Dodger Stadium, for example, and they gave me a Moderna shot.
Well, there you go.
It wasn't much of a game, but still, I came out vaccinated, so that was all right.
That's all right. That's all
parking
right.
was easier, I didn't buy any souvenir shirts. I'm sorry.
So
I went to Dodger Stadium and all I got was this lousy shot.
So decision day is when they decide to play soccer.
All the games.
Play all the games at once?
Yeah.
Okay.
Final day. So when are playoffs? When are playoffs?
So it's not playoffs.
No, it's not. This is for the league, and it's been going on. It's about they've been going on for about 4, 5, 6 months. I don't know, but so that was just deciding. It was the last day. So and there were a lot of places in other for next year that were being needed to be solved.
Okay, so then this is the last day of the season, type of thing.
But it is the last day of the English season. But then on tomorrow, is it Wednesday? On Wednesday, Manchester United play the European Cup.
Okay.
Against some Spanish rubbish, and then on Sunday the big European Champions Cup, the European Cup final takes place, and that is between Chelsea and who is it? It's Man City? I can't remember. Man City and Chelsea, I think it is. Yeah. So that should be quite a good game.
Okay.
It's usually very boring. It's usually Italians who play catenaccio, which is very boring. It's like having a cappuccino in front of your goal.
No.
I do remember.
Go ahead.
My favorite moment of the quarantine games was, I believe it was over, maybe it was Thanksgiving or somewhere, or Christmas. We heard the coach scream, "Fucking cunt!"
Oh yeah, I remember that too. That was really funny.
That was my favorite moment of this quarantine season, was hearing the coach scream at this player who kicked the ball over the goal. It was an open, he had a for sure goal and missed it, and he got it for totally missed it.
Throughout all sports.
Having the fans there, at least the players can swear now, we can hear them properly.
And that and you're having that throughout all of sports, is that you're finally were able to hear what the player chatter and the coaches chatter, the yelling back and forth, and it's really neat to hear all that and like all the communication that goes on the field that you don't normally hear.
They're playing better.
Yeah, absolutely.
There were more away wins this year because there's no supporters supporting the team at home. So they didn't get, like Liverpool one of the biggest things is they dropped a terrible season was because they didn't have the cop, which is their crowd. So they weren't half as good. And I think that happened to LA Galaxy last year here, didn't it? Once they lost
LAFC.
their 13th man or 12th man, whatever it was, they dropped like a stone.
And isn't that amazing how a crowd can be that extra player on the field and cause things to happen? And we did not see that in the Wild game at our home games this last couple games, did we, Charlie?
No, it didn't seem like it was a playoff game at all because of that.
It just like the crowd was just dead. Like they had people in the crowd finally, and you'd think that just being there finally after 14 months of not being able to see live hockey, you're in playoff hockey, and the crowd was just dead, and that's a big reason why I think that the Wild lost those 2 games at home.
I agree. I thought that they were flat because they had nothing to boost them up. I mean, they had a crowd there who did not give them any energy. Like usually a game's energy, even if they are down 2 goals early, it lasts through the whole first period. It lasts at least 1 full period. This did not last. Either game did not last a full period at all.
Was it a full crowd?
So
it wasn't a full crowd, but there was more people in there than I expected, especially for how silent it was.
Well, they socially distanced.
Yes.
We see a crowd has to be together.
Yes.
It's like an audience. There's a certain
That's
number
true.
that makes an audience. There's about 60 to 100, and then they start to laugh as one, and they react as one, and they bond. But if there's social distancing, you're not a crowd.
Yeah.
You're an individual in an empty arena.
There's legal qualifications for a crowd too. I think like that's what comptrollers do. They go around and like make sure that if you're calling yourself a crowd, you got to have the right number of people.
Yes, you're right. Yes,
Yeah.
3's a crowd.
This is none crowd is a crowd. I mean, I don't know what else a comptroller would do.
It's a very silly word, isn't it? Why is there a P in comptroller? It's a really annoying comptroller.
I've never really understood that word either. But one thing that I do understand is having programming that isn't bombarded by advertisements. So, crap that comes in and tells you what you need to buy, what you need to sell, or whatever, or tell you what you need to say on the radio. We don't like that shit on Fuzz Talk Radio or FuzzJockRadio because we don't want to be told what to say and what to do. And also, I just don't like advertisements ruining my enjoyment of watching like The Sopranos or whatever. Not sponsored by Sopranos, just been currently watching it. So people like to ask, Fuzzy, how do you pay for Fuzz Talk Radio? And I respond through working a daily job. And then also through your support. You can always go to fuzztalkshop.com and buy a t-shirt, a mug, some leggings, whatever you want. It has a Fuzz Talk Radio logo on it or a Fuzz Jock Radio logo on it. There's a couple different brands or styles. And that money goes straight back to fuzztalkradio.com. So go to FuzzTalk Shop.
True world champion.
And become a true world champion. Go to fuzztalkshop.com and click on the merchandise link and support us. Since you, Mr. Eric, since you know about soccer, I'm assuming you know about cricket. My friend C-Dubs here has been getting me into cricket a little bit here and there, and he told me to get the Willow app. And so I just recently downloaded and purchased it, and I'm paying money to have this app, and I'm seeing no live games. I see a lot of like recaps and stuff, but I want to see live stuff. What's up with this? Are they just taking my money or what? What's up?
Well, it's only one company, so there is cricket going on all around the world, but it's just about to start what we call test match cricket, which is a 5-day game. So that may be a bit too much for you. I mean, they now have this sort of mini bash cricket,
honestly,
which they play a lot in India, the India Premier League, and that was cancelled because of COVID. So they had to come home without finishing all that. So that's one of the reasons you're not seeing anything on there, I would imagine.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
So
I didn't really.
Now you can see England play Pakistan in about a week, I think, a test match from Lords in England. And good luck with that. That's 5 days, okay?
Yep.
And you stop for lunch and you stop for tea.
Yes, yeah. Charlie's been, or C-Dubs has been telling me a little bit about this. I watched a couple matches last year, and or no,
What did you watch? You watched India versus
India's fantastic.
Yeah, because you fell in love with India, didn't you?
Yeah, I think that's the one that had the.
That's who it was. It was India versus Australia.
India beat Australia in Australia, and also at Brisbane, which is their biggest undefeated ground. They thrashed them, so it was really a fabulous season.
I know that a lot of Americans are known for being fast and go, and we need our points, and we can't understand like what it means to have a 5 days in a game. But I myself like to relax and I like to chill. I like to tell a lot of people that I'm chilling when they ask me, "What are you up to, Fuzz?" I'm like, I'm chilling, watching a little baseball. Maybe a little bit of cricket, and just it just seems like a really relaxing game to me. But then you get a lot of fun every once in a while. Like it's great. I like it. I like to chill. It's like
that. It comes in little waves, and it can get very, very exciting, and it can get quite tedious and quite dull. But then people can bat, like in baseball, where you have 3 hits and you're out.
Mm-hmm.
In cricket, you could bat for all 5 days if they don't get you out.
Yeah, and that's awesome. That's really cool.
People got like 300, 400 runs, and they're really wonderful batsmen to watch. So you can admire the other team. I think that's what's nice about cricket. You can actually admire them.
Yeah, because
it's an individual, but it's also a team sport. So it's got a lot of you have to grow up with the sport, I think, really to enjoy it. But I really like cricket.
I honestly, I like no. All jokes aside, I have been finding myself really enjoying it, and like I said, I got Willow, and I'm thinking of I'm a really big gadget type of person, and I was joking, but also kind of saying that I think once everything starts going more, I'm going to have a screen hooked up to one of my Google devices or whatever, not sponsored, and have cricket playing 24/7 on just on a screen in my house.
It's very relaxing. I mean, if you go to any of these places like Australia in the summer, the cricket's always on in the background. The test match is on, and people are going shopping and wandering. I mean, the game's going on, and it's sort of like involves the whole country. It's really interesting.
It just felt like a very community based type of thing, and just like you said, it just felt I just got this very relaxing feeling from it, and it's just like I want this on in the background, and just so I can glance up, see a game, see what the score is, see where everybody's at, and just let it go. I don't know. I don't know. I'm liking it a lot.
It's a good game.
And I just did not.
We have been pushing cricket on our show for,
pretty much
since
the
beginning. We have.
Yep.
You can go back 2 years. We're talking about cricket, snooker.
So India is
all of it.
India's the team to watch.
India's, I think, the world champion at the moment, and I think but it changes. Like any team, that if people are injured or young people come in, as you were saying,
Yep.
it can all turn around quite well. Our bowlers, which are our pitchers, can get old, and they start to, they get to be, and they're bowling very fast. Some of those people, so they even be 32 and 33, they're bowling that fast. So they can suddenly not be there the next year because you just hit the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
FuzzJockRadio. Basketball, give me the ball because I'm gonna dunk it. Basketball, give me the ball because I'm gonna dunk it. Basketball, give me the ball because I'm gonna dunk it.
WNBA has started,
FuzzJockRadio.
and we were looking very forward to the Lynx to start the season because they got new players, they got new coaches, they got really good players, and they're doing not the best.
Oh man,
they lost all of their games so far. They're currently last in the league.
It's all part of the narrative.
Yeah,
it's all part of the script.
Los Angeles Sparks.
True. They're tied for last. Los Angeles Sparks. I don't understand currently. I'm going to look this up, but I don't know how The Connecticut Suns has 5 wins and 0 losses, and we have only played 3 games.
That's very good. We should figure that out.
So we'll figure that out. But I do know that they are.
That's perfectly normal. Nothing to see here.
Eric, any thoughts on the WNBA?
No, I don't. I'm surprised that they're late. You know, maybe they didn't turn up for the last 2 games. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a very interesting question.
Because
I've never seen the WNBA. I do watch the women's soccer in America. The American team is fantastic.
They're fantastic.
And they were really great. We were shouting and cheering for them in Europe when they won. It was really good.
So the Lynx, they used to be real like the best team in sports, and the joke in Minnesota always was, like, we are the worst. We never win any championships, and then everybody just forgets about the Lynx, and
we refuse to.
And now, so we refuse to. We're gonna always mention, even if they're not doing that well, what's going on with the Lynx, because everybody else seems to forget.
Where do they play?
The Target Center, same place as the
Timberwolves, and who also the Timberwolves were just purchased by Aaron Rodriguez, the famous baseball player, from Glenn Taylor, a Mankato billionaire.
Mankato's own Glenn Taylor.
Mankato's own Glenny down the block.
Glenny from down the block.
Yeah. He bought the A-Rod bought the Timberwolves and also the Lynx from Glenn Taylor just recently, and it's looking like everybody's really worried about A-Rod taking the Timberwolves out of Minnesota, because that usually is what happens with Minnesota teams. But we got Karl Anthony Towns, and he is loving Minnesota. Karl. Well, we'll listen to what he has to say here. Like, I got a little bit of a sound clip here. Hopefully this is loud enough.
And try to, bring as many championships as possible. So that's kind of the approach I take. And I think, to answer your question, is more, I think that in a way, I want to answer your question in my way. I think that I'm more happy that through all the stuff I've been through here, and things that are known and things that are unknown, I'm just happy that I'm able to stand strong here in Minnesota. It's been rocky times. It's been real rocky times, and even times where they were going to take the jersey off my back. So I just really am happy that I'm able to still be here playing for this amazing city and state, and be able to stay here and affect change in the community. And I'm just so happy that I've been given a chance to play here in Minnesota, and continuously been able to be given a chance to play here in Minnesota all these years.
So with that, this last year, Karl lost his mother to COVID, and then lost 7 family members as well to COVID. And for him to feel that Minnesota was strong enough to support him during those times, and say how much he loves and he wants to help grow Minneapolis like that, it's a pretty strong thing. There's a pretty strong saying that, I don't think that the ownership's going to take them out of Minnesota right away. You know what I mean? Sure. They need to bring a championship to the city. And with that, the Kevin Garnett, somebody that's also grew up as in his adult life, has always wanted to come back and help support Minneapolis and the Timberwolves. But however, Glenny down the block and him had some, misgivings or whatever. So we always knew that if Glenn Taylor was the owner, there's no way that Kevin Garnett was going to come come back to the Timberwolves and like help coach or manage or something. But with the change to A-Rod, it sounds like A-Rod is absolutely bringing KG back to the Timberwolves. There's a buzz that Alex Rodriguez intends to bring Kevin Garnett, inducted on Saturday into the Basketball Hall of Fame as an investor in the Timberwolves at Lynx, which was a $1.5 billion purchase. But there's big things. In Garnett's acceptance speech for the Hall of Fame, he said that my only regret is that I didn't get to bring a championship, but I look forward to rebuilding Minneapolis. So hopefully
he's going to come back and hang out with the Wolves and teach them how to make awesome layups.
Mr. Eric, did you know about the Kevin Garnetts and the Glenn Taylors and the Timberwolves and the basketballs and stuff like that?
Not so much, no.
No?
But you could always call Ryan Reynolds.
Why is that?
He just bought an English football team.
He did.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah, they're all these Canadians are very smart with their money. You know, they go to Hollywood, they make a fortune, they go and buy teams in Canada and England. So that's he just bought it last week. It's not a very well-known team. It's called Wrexham, which is, I think, virtually in Wales, if not actually in Wales.
That's usually the way you should do stuff like that. I think is you buy stuff that are not that well known and then you build it up.
Well,
right?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Because otherwise they're so entitled.
Yeah, those players are just like.
I've had relatives and friends who've been involved in football teams, and it's just terrible because they expect you just to pay all the time. There's no profit. You don't get your money back. You're just constantly paying, and they're booing you and shouting at you and jeering at you. It's really miserable. It's really I don't know why anybody does it. But in America, you actually run things better because it's more even. You make the playing field even.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in England, it doesn't matter. As long as you've got some very wealthy Arab prince backing you or Putin's pal, you have a lot more money than any team that doesn't have that. So there's no attempt to balance the playing field in the English league, which is an
Are you ready for some football?
It sounds like American football. Like seriously, like that's.
It is better. It's a fairer system, and the money goes to the players. Whereas in England, you're bought and sold. You're sold for $35 million, and that doesn't go to you. That goes to the team who just sold you.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, you're not supposed to sell people, I think.
I don't.
We learned that in America, right?
Yeah, I hope.
Certainly not in America, no.
What's happening in
we are
not football, but
speaking
football.
of football, we are 1 month out from training camp.
Okay.
So with that, I can't believe we're already talking about training camp for football coming up.
Nah, I don't want to talk about it.
But with that, why not? With that, Peter King's 2021 Power Rankings was released. We have something to look forward to. The Vikings are going to be great. We got Kirk Cousins still. We got Adam Thielen. We got some other players. It's going to be something to look forward to. We got to be like at least in the top 4.
Probably
5.
not.
We got to be in the top 5 in the Power Rankings because the Power Rankings just came out. What's his name? Peter King's Power Rankings just came out.
Whoever that is.
He's a famous guy.
Okay.
I think. So Kansas City, of course, is number 1. Tampa Bay is number 2 with Tom Brady. Number 3 is Buffalo Bills. Number 4 is Cleveland, the Cleveland Browns. And then number 5 is not the Vikings, San Francisco.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Where's the Vikings here? Let me
probably
scrolling down. Scrolling down.
Oh no.
Looks like he gave us number 24.
That's last.
Oh.
No, that's not last. I think there's 36 teams in the NFL. Is that right?
32.
32.
But still.
Not
good.
Yeah, he's not really liking us having Kirk Cousins still. He thinks that we're gambling on Patrick Peterson. What do you? I don't know.
I don't know about that. I mean, I guess his age is what they're claiming the gamble will be, but he's pretty much been the best corner in the league his entire career, other than Darrelle Revis.
So that critique is probably reaching a bit.
A little bit. I mean, people said the same thing about Revis, and then he won a Super Bowl with the Patriots.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think you can be old and play sports.
Yeah.
Tom Brady just won the Super Bowl as like the oldest player of all time.
Exactly. So this Peter King guy, he makes a good point about Kirk Cousins, but everything else just kind of reads like grasping at straws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta make up some excuses to say the Vikings are bad, which,
So you're saying that you're excited for football. You're excited for
yeah.
Vikings football coming around. We have
Almost.
something to be excited about. Don't listen to this 24 thing.
No.
Okay.
Well, my favorite thing as a Vikings fan is always how there's anytime something bad happens to the Packers, that's always my favorite Vikings news. And so Aaron Rodgers not showing up to camp is great. Because he's never missed camp in his career.
He missed camp this week?
Oh yeah, he hasn't been involved at all, and he doesn't plan on showing up. He's in Hawaii right now partying.
What?
Yeah, he's not going to play this next year.
Social media of him playing guitar and having a good old time instead of being.
Can he do that?
Camp.
Yeah.
Can he do that?
He just missed out on $500,000 by just not showing up. All he had to do is show up, and you get $500,000. He didn't show up.
Do they start fining players for not showing up to certain things like
You can start getting fined after June 1st, I believe.
Oh boy. They really own him, don't they?
Yeah, that's a new thing that just happened today. So I thought,
wow, that's something crazy. And did you know that the Packers aren't the only team having a problem with one of their superstar players? Julio Jones of the Falcons, who's worth $15.3 million, they're currently talking about how he doesn't want to play for the Falcons. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, he was on a TV show this morning and said that. He got a call from the host of the show and was like, "Yeah, I'm not going back there. Screw that place." And he said, "How about would you play for the Cowboys?" And he said, "I want to play for a team that'll win."
What? He said that?
He took a dig at his own team and the Cowboys at the same time, live on the air.
Holy crap. That's insane. I mean, why not, right? Like he's good. Last year in 9 games he averaged 51 receptions, 771 yards. 15.1 yards per reception.
And he didn't even play the whole season.
Didn't even play the whole season.
Yards.
Well, and if I were the coach or owner of either of these teams with Aaron Rodgers or Julio, it's still almost worth their money to not let those people play against you, isn't it?
Ooh.
Is it still worth some money to keep those people playing against you? Because they're good.
Can you do that?
Someone will, if they're under contract, right?
Yeah, you just would be missing out on having a player and that much money.
Yeah.
But if you can definitely just take that hit.
Is that what the Pack? I think that's probably what the Packers are playing at, because they keep on talking about they're not letting him go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
How long has he got a contract with them?
Good question.
I think he's coming to the end of a contract because he's been negotiating with them and has been mad at them. So I'm guessing
he hasn't renewed his contract.
He's still under contract, but he's working for a new one and probably not going to sign with them. So.
When does the season start?
Season starts in I believe it's end of August.
Yeah.
Nice.
August or September.
Yeah. When FuzzJockRadio season 5 debuts.
Yeah.
That's just a coincidence, right?
He has a 4-year contract.
Started in.
Doesn't say.
Okay.
A 4-year contract that started in 2008.
Well,
he's got a horrible agent.
Well, there's that.
Yeah. Haven't you seen the commercials? Yeah, he's a horrible agent.
AEW. Eric, Mr. Eric. Do you know anything about this American elite, all elite wrestling? This wrestling, pro wrestling, American pro wrestling. Have you ever seen any of that, like the Hulk Hogan's or
Hulk Hogan's a jabroni?
Yeah, I don't want to ever use Hulk Hogan as a example for wrestling. Like Kenny Omega or Ric Flair.
I used to watch it when I was 14. There was somebody in England called Big Daddy, who was a big. He was about 40 years old, and he wore a big red onesie, and he had blonde hair, and he was about 38 stone.
Yeah.
So, but it's I haven't been watching. No, I don't have a lot of time. I watch a lot of footy when it's on, and I watch cricket when it's on.
Oh, okay.
But I don't go much that far outside of that sport.
Well, I tell you, this wrestling, this pro wrestling has been something else. I hadn't watched. I watched wrestling when I was a young lad as well. Like when the WWE was WWF, and it was fun then, and then it just kind of petered off. I didn't really pay any attention to it until just this last week, and it was great.
I do go to one place in LA that have this thing called Lucha Vavoom.
Oh,
which is a fantastic show, which they put on about 3 or 4 times a year, and it's mixed Mexican masked wrestling, including very short chaps dressed as chickens wrestling in pairs, and they have beautiful girls doing burlesque, and they have 3 improvising comedians commentating on the whole event, and it's fantastic.
Nice.
Everybody gets tequila'd up, and it's really funny, very silly. And they kept throwing people out of the ring into the audience, and they're proper luchadors from Mexico.
Yes.
They're really, it's mess wrestling, but it's such a silly evening. It's one of the best things I've ever seen in a theater. It's very good.
When I came out to visit C-Dubs, I went to one of those out in LA.
Oh, you did? Right, yeah.
Yep.
Isn't it great?
It was amazing. I had such a great time.
Some of those wrestlers that they get every once in a while are in AEW, so they've moved on to this specific league, including some of the luchadors, and Scorpio Sky and stuff like that. So you might have actually seen people that we watch wrestle every week.
Okay,
and they're doing a great job, and they have pay-per-view coming up on Sunday at 5 p.m. is Double or Nothing. They got the card all filled out. We're gonna have a AEW's Women's Championship, Hikaru Shida versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, which is gonna be an amazing match between the two ladies. We got Cody Rhodes versus Anthony Ogogo in the flag match. What C-Dubs? What's a flag match?
It's not actually a flag match, but they're defending the honor of their countries. Usually in the WWE, it forces them to put a flag up to win the match, but I don't think they actually are making that stipulation.
Oh, okay. And then we got Adam Hangman.
Anthony Ogogo was an Olympic boxer for England, and Cody Rhodes is representing America.
Yeah, you know him because you were in the Olympics.
Yes, I know everybody in the Olympics.
You remember them.
You were in it, so you know everybody. Yep.
Yeah.
We got Adam Hangman Page versus Brian Cage, which is going to be a great match. Who do you think's going to win these matches, guys?
Page versus Cage is going to be all the rage.
Cage, I like that name. I think Britt wins the title. I finally go back on believing Shida retains, and I think Britt wins the championship. She doesn't need it, but they're gonna give all the heels titles.
Britt needs a title, absolutely. She needs it.
Yeah.
A bold prediction.
Cody Rhodes versus Anthony Ogogo.
Ogogo, they want to put him over.
Okay. Hangman versus Cage.
Cage. Because this is telling the story of who's gonna face Kenny eventually, and it's too early for Hangman to face
100%. And also the story of putting Hangman down to the rock bottom, I think.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't know why, but I still have this hope that his drinking gets under control, and they talk about how he's an alcoholic.
Yeah, I hope they use it in a learning benefit. Like they've kind of already set up like the negative effects of what his drinking have done to his character, and now I think he needs to find something. I think losing the booze will be part of that.
Dude, I think if they do that, I think it would be one of the best stories in wrestling history.
They've been doing it really good so far. We've already been paying attention to this story for over a year, and it's pretty compelling.
If that's what they're doing, I mean,
yeah.
Otherwise, the booze actually is affecting his performance, and that wouldn't be good at all because nobody's talking to him about it. Then we got the Casino Battle Royale. Christian Cage
You don't have
versus.
to put all those.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of names.
Christian Cage is gonna win.
Christian Cage is gonna win. Yeah, they gotta put him over. They gotta give him something. And then the TNT Championship, Miro versus Lance Archer. They can't.
Guessing Miro retains.
They can't
lose
give
it.
it. They can't give it away. Inner Circle versus the Pineapple again in a stadium stampede again.
Circle wins.
Sting and Darby Allin versus Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky are gonna win that one.
Yeah, they're gonna put them. They're gonna put those two over. So that's a good match.
It's nice to see Sting working again.
This crazy, and he's actually taking bumps too.
Yeah, it's very surprising that he's doing this now. Who's Darby?
He's
his grandson.
He's a character that is a lot like Sting. Like the storyline is that Sting came back because he saw this Darby Allin and he reminded him of his younger self. He's a guy that sits up in the rafters and paints his face, and he's like he's like the what do you call it, the nomad, you know, like he's a renegade. He's a loner. Yeah. That type of wrestler, and skateboards, and he does a bunch of stunts and stuff. So yeah, that's Darby.
So yeah, the others are fuck the police people, are they?
Yeah. Pretty much.
It's NWA versus the police.
Yep. Oh, that'd be great.
Sting versus Sting.
Sting versus Sting. The Young Bucks versus John Moxley and Eddie Kingston. And
Young Bucks keep that for sure.
Yep. And then Kenny Omega versus Orange Cassidy versus Pac.
Oh,
that,
man.
of course, as we know, Omega retains.
Did Orange is he better? Is he?
Yeah, he got, so what it sounds like happened was he got knocked out during the match, but he's fine now. It was just during the match he was out for a second there.
Like he actually got knocked out?
Yeah, if you go back and watch it, you can see that Pac actually lifts his leg up to let him kick out because he didn't kick out at all.
Wow.
Yeah. He was back. He was with it in about 5 seconds, but there were about 5 seconds where he was not. So
wow, that's
crazy.
But
they say he's doing fine. That's why he hasn't been doing any action until then. Is just to make sure he's
concussion protocols at all for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And no one beats Omega though. He wins it forever.
Yeah, he's gonna win forever.
Forever champion.
Yeah.
Get all the belts.
He wins forever.
And that's the sound of Fuzzy Memory Trivia. Mr. Eric, at the end of our show, we do some sports trivia, and I know that you're going to do the best because over this episode, we found out that Mr. Eric Ital is an Olympian that loves American sports like football and basketball and hates cricket and soccer and all that stuff, just like a true American would. And I'm really happy that his agent got a hold of James through the FuzzJockRadio email. If you want to be a guest, make sure to email us.
You don't need an agent either. You can email us directly.
Yeah, see how like this guy.
I did ask to be on Jimmy Kimmel, and he said this was almost as good.
This is better.
Well, you know, Jimmy Kimmel has a lot to work up to. I know that too. Yeah. So, I went and saw him one time in New York, and he was like, "Hey, Fuzzy, how's it going?" And I'm like, "Hey, good, but you know, you should work on this routine a little bit because it didn't go over too well." I am the host of Fuzzy Memory Trivia.
The live seals was a bad idea.
We ask questions and then we answer them. The person that asks the questions is me, and you guys answer them. And this is a round robin or whatever you call it. It's like I go around and ask. I'm like, Mr. Ital, what figure skater entered the 2018 Olympics undefeated in the season? It's an Olympics. You know. He sang at the Olympics. He sang the national anthem.
Was it Tim Curry?
Incorrect.
Close.
C-dubs?
Okay, I'm ready.
You have the answer?
Oh, ice skater. Tina Belcher.
Incorrect.
I want to see Tim Curry figure skating now.
Nope. Nathan Chen. C-Dubs. How much did Jose Canseco sell his World Series ring for?
Ooh, $26,000.
Incorrect. James.
$40,000.
Mr. Eric.
$3,942,000.
Incorrect. James was correct with 40,000.
I did it.
Oh.
Did you see the answer?
No.
Okay. The Bills.
Did you see the listing for it? Did you buy it?
James, the Bills finished first in NFL in what category in 2013?
Losing?
Incorrect. Mr. Eric.
Yes, sir. The Bills
finished first in the NFL in what category in 2013? What category?
Punting.
Incorrect. C-Dubs.
Defense.
Rushing attempts.
No.
Come on, guys. Come on.
I knew that.
I'm never gonna get that. That was too easy.
I just felt bad about getting the last one right, so.
Mr. Eric, which World Series champs were called the Big Red Machine?
I'm thinking Boston.
Incorrect. C-Dubs.
Big Red Machine. Cincinnati Reds.
Correct. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, I got two.
Well. C-Dubs. What or who did Kobe Bryant's parents name him after?
Cobalt Blue.
Incorrect. James.
A snake.
Incorrect. Mr. Eric. Kobe Bryant. Kobe.
He was named after Tim Curry.
Incorrect. A type of steak.
No, about 40 years after Tim Curry.
Is Tim Curry a type of steak? Is Tim Curry a type of steak?
Yeah, it's delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's type of steak. Ding, ding, ding. You won. You won, Mr. Eric.
Hey! How much?
Well, that brings us to the end of Fuzzy Memory Trivia. The prize does not, we don't give out the prizes, Mr. Eric, until the end of the season, but you contributed points to the guest points or the Hest points, the host, the host with the most, because you are a host, and I really, really appreciate you being on the show with us as a host, Mr. Eric.
Well, thank you, Mr. Fuzzy. I've really enjoyed myself. It's been very pleasant for me, and I haven't been out for 2 years, so it's been quite a nice night out for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to come. It's good to come out, and just be like, yo, I haven't been outside in 2 years. James, what do you got going on?
Man, I'm fine staying in.
Yeah.
There's a lot. I haven't missed a lot of society, so as they carry on, I'm okay with it. Just chilling, But no, the school year is winding up to a close.
Yep.
So my father, who has been doing a teaching job here in town, will be finished with his job for the year.
Okay. So how does that affect you? What do you got going on this next week?
I don't know. Trying to maybe build half a bird.
Another half? The other half?
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
I'll name him in honor of our guest host Hest tonight. I will name him Eric the Half a Bird.
Nice.
Thank you. That's very nice. I appreciate that.
C-Dubs, what do you got going on this next week?
Well, Double or Nothing's coming up. I've got work and stuff like that, so I got to help wrangle the crew at work and then wrangle the crew for wrestling. So that's kind of what I'm going to do, is try and get everyone together and have good times. And also mask up when I go outside.
I like that.
Wear your Wrangler jeans when you do it.
Yeah, I'm going to wear my Wranglers.
Wear my Wranglers.
Mr. Eric, what do you got going on this next week? I bet you're going to... Oh, can you please tell your agent that you did a good job? Because I think you did a good job, even though I still don't know exactly who you are. I think I got it, figure it out. But I please tell your agent that you did a good job.
I will. Well, thank you very much. I'm sure he'll send some more English comedians on, as soon as he can.
What do you got going on this next week?
This next week, it's Memorial Weekend. I'm going to put my feet up and have a bit of a swim and some tea.
No, that sounds great. That sounds
great. It's a good weekend plan.
Just relax. Yeah, why not?
Sure.
Fuzzy, what about you?
Speaking of Memorial Day, it is my mother's birthday on next Monday. So
happy birthday.
Her and my father are going to come over, and I'm going to cook them food, which is going to be the first time that I've ever done that, and I'm really excited because I've been, we all know that I've been learning how to cook food and stuff. But other than that, I'm just gonna kind of hang out and chill, be kind of cool. It's gonna be hot out and stuff, and I just want to hang out and probably wear my mask still because the COVID's still going on, and even though I'm fully vaccinated, I don't want to accidentally get the COVID from somebody else that didn't want to wear their mask, and nothing's 100%. So I'm gonna wear my mask when I go out into shops and stuff when I'm delivering food for the masses. And basically, what I'm gonna do is just kind of hang out and do a bunch of fuzzy things.
Now the dangerous Nelson Cruz.
That one is hit hard to left. That ball's back, and there's your grand slam. Nelson Cruz connects at a triple.